Hi there, I'm Carol Beijing from GoCreate.me. I'm about to show you an excerpt from my free course on how to create an author website on self-hosted WordPress. In this shortened lesson, I will show you how to set up a landing page that is a page without distraction where you can collect newsletter subscribers, so people's email addresses, send those email addresses to MailerLite, and then using a combination of BookFunnel with your MailerLite automation, send them whatever bonus you may have offered as part of your incentive for getting those people on your list. So 3 things I want to warn you about. This will work with any self-hosted WordPress site. Doesn't matter if you've got content or not, but if you're on WordPress.com, the blue version that comes with a free plan, you would have to switch to self-hosted WordPress, but I point you to another free course where I explain how to do that. Second, in the video you're about to watch, I make reference to files available below this video. You will not find them on YouTube. You need to enroll in my free course, and that's where the files are. And third, while this is a free course, this lesson here and my entire free course relies on using a premium plugin that currently costs $49. So I will let you be the judge of whether or not you want to pay for this plugin, but I love it. It's a game changer. It allows you to do so many things with only one plugin, and that's the glue that allows you to do what I'm about to show you, no matter what WordPress theme you have installed. So let's get started. Let's watch that excerpt.
So this landing page requires a few moving parts. First, you will need a newsletter provider. For the sake of this example here, I've got a demo account set up with MailerLite, but MailerLite is not the only option. You've also got MailChimp, Aweber, ConvertKit, ActiveCampaign, SandFox. Lots of newsletter companies are out there. They all offer different price points, different features. So you can keep watching the video here to learn more about what you'll need, but you will need to set this up. You don't want to be emailing people from your private email address. MailerLite is a popular choice among new authors because they offer a free service for up to 1,000 subscribers. You will find an affiliate link below this video if you'd like to test out MailerLite. But what you will need to do is set up your account and then create a group of subscribers. So for me, I went under groups and I set up a group here where my subscribers will go when they take me up on my offer. Because I'm going to be using MailerLite's API, I needed to go into my settings here for subscribe. And I turned on double opt-in. I don't want to get bots and other non-humans joining my list because you end up paying per subscribers. I set this up here with a confirmation email, but I made it generic because this will be a global setting for my entire account. So I'm saying, please confirm your subscription. That should be your email address associated with your domain name. And I'm giving them a message saying, please click the button below to confirm that this is the right email and you want to receive the free gift I mentioned. So they would click that. And once they do that, then MailerLite knows that they are real people, they want to be on my list, and they see this message. I tell them to check their inbox to find the free story I promised. And then I've also set up an automation. So this is my automation here. It is active. And it is triggered when people are added to the group that I mentioned. So when they are added to the group, they immediately receive this email, and then I wait 7 days and I check up on them. But that first email is important. If I edit the content, this is where I deliver the free book. Now here's where the second piece of the puzzle comes in. So I've given them a link and then they can click and they can download this file. They can also click the button to download the same book file. But in order to make this work, you will need BookFunnel. For what I'm suggesting here, where you collect the email address using MailerLite, you only need to be on the $20 per year plan. This will support 500 downloads per month. So when you're getting started, it's quite sufficient. Once you sign up for that plan, you will be able to go to books, add your books. You'll need to upload your book cover, your EPUB, your MOBI, your PDF. Once your book is uploaded, the description as well, then you can create a landing page where you do not collect email addresses. And this is the link here that I copied and pasted to include in my email. So when people get this email, they click on that, they'll be able to download my file. So this was just a brief overview. Let's get to the part where we create that page on our website. I'm going to show you a very easy way to do this, but that requires the purchase of a premium plugin. If you go to gocreate.me/Elementor, this will take you through my affiliate link to the purchase page for Elementor Pro, a premium plugin, and you can buy it and then download the file. It does come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you don't like it, you can ask for a refund. No problem there. So buy the plugin, download it to your desktop, then you're going to proceed to Plugins, Add New, and we're going to find this plugin. So upload plugin, find that file. So I've got my Elementor Pro here. I'm going to install now. And I'm going to activate it. It will warn me I also need to install Elementor, the basic one, but that's okay. I can click that button and it will take care of installing it for me as well. And then you can activate the plugin. Once it's been installed, so I've got the free Elementor and then the premium Elementor Pro, I need to connect and activate either by clicking here or here. And this is why I cannot share my license with you. It would go against their terms and then you would not be able to connect and activate the plugin. So you just need to connect to the account where you bought it from. Click activate. And then I'm good to go. After activating and connecting your Elementor Pro plugin, you will need to then connect your MailerLite or MailChimp or Aweber, whoever you're with. You need to connect your newsletter service to Elementor Pro. So let's do that. If you go to Elementor and then click Settings, then Integrations. This is where you will find the various services. So if you're with MailChimp, you can click here, get the instructions how to retrieve your API key. Same thing with Drip, Active Campaign, Get Response, ConvertKit, MailerLite. So I'm going to click here. Where can I find the API key? And it is telling me to go down here. Perfect. So I will do that. And this is what I want to do. So I'm going to click on Use. And I'm going to copy this and then go back here and then paste this API key and then click to validate it. I got the little check mark. So I'm just going to save my changes by scrolling down to the bottom of this page. Now, if you use a different newsletter provider that is not listed as part of the built-in integrations, don't worry. All of the newsletter providers will provide you with an embed code. So it's a snippet of code that you will be able to copy and paste. Instead of using the easy to drag and drop form, you'll just create a custom HTML widget and put that form there. I will show you that later. Now let's create that landing page. So under Pages, I'm going to create a brand new page. What you call it doesn't really matter, but maybe you want to call it Home or maybe you want to call it Bonus Offer. And then I'm going to hit Publish. I'm going to edit this page with Elementor. Now the interface is loading. And this is where we're going to make this quite easy. First, we need to click on the gear icon here. This page, we do not want any of the header or footer. We just want our email offer front and center. So if you go on the gear icon, here for the page layout, we're going to say Elementor Canvas. So this gives us a blank canvas to play with. There's absolutely no other distraction. So I can click Update. You will want to pause this video and look below it to find two files. One of them is the template itself, the other one is the background image. So if you don't want the dark clouds, don't worry about downloading that one, but do download the file called Elementor landing page 1.json. Then go ahead and click on this little folder here, and we want to upload the file that you just downloaded. So click on that up arrow in the top right corner, and then select that file, so Elementor landing page 1.json. And here we go. So all you need to do is click Insert and then click Yes. So now there's a few things missing. I will walk you through all of the steps how to update this. I want you to click on this little navigator that's in the bottom left, and this will pop up this here. So this is the header here. Feel free to rename that. So this is the header section. The section itself contains two columns. So the section has this blue bar around it. When you click on that, it gives you different options for layout, style, and advanced. Within it, you see that you have two columns. When you click on the column, the interface changes. So the column itself also has a layout, style, and advanced. And you can also use this here to navigate it. If you expand the sections, you see that the column contains a heading and a text editor. And when you click, the interface always changes. Then we have an empty column here. If you wanted to use it, you could put some social media icons in there, but that's totally optional. I will show you that later. And then the rest is the rest of the page. So within that section, again, sections go full width. The section here has two columns. This left column is meant to be the cover, but the image is blank. So you will need to upload your image, or you could just delete that section if you don't plan on putting a book cover. And below that, we have the actual form, and we will connect all of that. But we will start from the biggest things and then work our way from top to bottom. So if you go back to the gear icon here, the page itself right now is using this image. So if you don't like this image, you can trash it. Then you will see a background color. You could just go for a solid color. So for example, I could go for this gray here, or I could also use a gradient. So go from pink to, you pick whatever gradient you want to do, and you could also make the gradient radial as opposed to linear. But make sure that whatever you pick looks good. So here I'm just going to click clear. I'm also going to click clear on the second gradient color. And I'm going to go back here. So for my particular scenario, I'm going to click on the paintbrush first, and then it gives me the option to upload an image. So I can upload a file. So the dark clouds that was located below the video, I can upload that here and then insert it. So the entire page is now using this image as part of the background. And I want it to be stretched out so it covers the entire background, no matter the size of the screen. And I don't want the image to be repeated. So feel free to play with these settings as you see fit. But typically you will either want to use a solid color, or you can use a background image like I am using here. But make sure that whatever you choose to do, whatever text goes on top needs to contrast greatly so it's easy for people to read. So now that we've got that sorted, let's go with the top section. So obviously your pen name is probably not pen name. So go ahead and change that. So you click on the heading, or you can click on the box here, and then on the left you will see where you can change the information. So I've got my pen name here. Maybe you don't like this font, that's fine. Maybe you don't like the text color. Click on style and then you can adjust it. If you want to find a new color, let's say you want to start using a red of some sort, and you want to be consistent in how you find that red. So let's say you like this particular red, click the plus button, and that will save your color swatch so that you can then reuse it. But I'm going to stick with my yellow. And you can also look at the typography. So if you don't like whatever font is here, you can pick a different one. These are Google fonts, and they will give you an idea of what they look like just by scrolling down. So for example, Roboto Condensed is a typical web font, and then you can adjust the weight if you want it to be bold or if you want it to be normal. You could also make it uppercase. You can make it italic. You can play with the settings and adjust things as you see fit. You can also adjust the letter spacing if you want to space out the letters. When you're happy with that, just click away from this little pop-up and then it will get saved. Now you can click on the text editor here via the navigator, or you could have clicked here. Notice that it's slightly above the box. That's because under advanced, I gave it a negative margin. If you need to change that, just put your cursor in here and then you can adjust the position of that. But I felt like it needed to be closer to the top here, so that's why I adjusted it. But I can just click the text editor, click on content. And again, you can click on style and you can change the text color. So maybe I wanted all of it to be yellow. I kind of like having the white. So I'm going to add that pure white to my swatches. You can also change the typography. A quick note here, you don't want to use too many fonts. Best to just stick with 2 font families for your entire site. So if you decide you're going to end up using Roboto with Anton, for example, stick with those 2 fonts all the time. So I'm happy with this here, but feel free to adjust the size of the font if you want it to be a little bigger. So I'm happy here. Let's say you wanted to put some social media icons in the top right. You could do that. So just click on this little tile. This will give you the variety of widgets that you can drag and drop. If you look for social, you will find one of them being a social icons widget. So drag and drop that into this column. And then you will be able to add more. But first, I think I want those to be right aligned. And then what shape do I want them to be? You can play with the options, see what you like best. And then in here, this is where you would copy and paste your URL for your Facebook page. You could do the same for your Twitter, for your YouTube. If you want to add more, just look at the icon library, try to find it. So go to all icons. Maybe you're on Pinterest. So look for Pinterest. There's 3 to pick from. Pick one that you like, insert, and then you can add your Pinterest URL. And then you can modify the style. So if you go with custom, then you get to pick. So perhaps I want all of my icons to use black and the secondary color could be yellow. So that's an option, perhaps if you want to do something like this. I'm going to reduce this spacing. And if you don't want YouTube, you can delete that one. Update. At any time, if whatever you've done is not updated, just hit the refresh arrow. And then things have been updated. So we've got the header sorted. Now let's deal with the page. So I'm going to expand the cover column, and this is where my image needs to go. So click on image, and then on the content, this is where you're going to click and then upload your cover. Don't upload an image that's too big. The image really is small. It doesn't need to be very large. So for me here, notice how it's 64 kilobytes. It is a small image that is only 350 pixels by 550 pixels. It is very small. That way the page will load fast. There we go. That's my book cover. Now on the right, so this is my heading. Again, I'm going to click here. You can change the title as you see fit. Text editor, you can reword whatever offer you want to make. And then this is the form. So when I click on form, maybe you want to also get somebody's first name. That's fine. You can do that. But keep in mind that the more information you ask, the less likely people are to give you things. So the easiest, the option with less friction is to only ask for the email address. So that's why I tend to do this. But if you want to add the first name, you can call this first name. And in the placeholder, I'm also going to say first name. And you decide whether or not it is required. The email is obviously required, and maybe you want to ask for the first name first, so you drag and drop that above. And notice how I can turn on or off the labels. I personally like turning off the labels, so only the placeholder tells people what to do. Now the button here, if you don't like what I wrote on it, just open the submit button here, change the text. You can change the size of the text, you can change the column width, you can create a smaller button, make it left, make it right. I like the full width. You can also change the icon. If you don't like that little icon, click on here, find something else, or you can get rid of it. You don't need to put an icon, so I can just trash this. If you decide to put an icon, you can put it either before or after. And you can also adjust the spacing between the words and the icon. Now this is the important part. So you're going to need to get rid of email here. You're going to want to do an action that is your newsletter service. So in my situation, I want to pick MailerLite. And then MailerLite appeared below. The API key has already been connected if you followed the previous instructions. The group, this is the group. It talks to my MailerLite account right now, and this is where I'm sending my subscribers. So if you've got several groups within your newsletter service, make sure you pick the correct one. And this is where you need to match whatever fields you've included to what your newsletter provider supports. So the email will be email, and name will be first name. The rest I will leave blank because I am not collecting this information. I will allow people to resubscribe because you never know, maybe they'll come back a year from now and they forgot. So I will allow them to resubscribe. And under additional options, I will toggle on custom messages. And I want to change the form was sent successfully to let them know they're not quite done yet because I have double opt-in enabled. I want them to go check their inbox and click that button. And then I can click update. Now earlier I mentioned if you use a different service that is not connected as part of the Elementor built-in integrations, you still can drag and drop your form in here. So click the tile icon and then look for HTML. So there's this guy here. You can drag and drop it. And this is where you would copy and paste the HTML code that your newsletter provider gives you. Normally it says embeddable code, and this is where you would put that here. For example, this is some HTML and it made the HTML appear here. So only do this if you don't integrate with one of the popular newsletter providers that is natively supported by Elementor. But I don't want this here, so to get rid of anything, you can always right-click here, or you can right-click on the icon and then hit delete. Now, I have the word saying privacy policy, but this is technically not connected yet. This needs to be a link to my privacy policy page, but I don't have that page created yet. So for now, I'm going to get rid of these words, but I'm leaving the text editor here so I can come back, and I know it's already here. I just need to put in my privacy policy link once I have it ready. So I'm going to click update. And we're almost done. So now I want to make sure that this that I've created here will look right on desktops, on tablets, as well as on phones. So if you click on that little icon that looks like a computer screen, it says responsive mode. So click on that. And right now we're looking at the desktop version. But click on tablet and it gives you a tablet here and it shows you what this looks like. I'm happy with this. It's above the fold. People will not have to scroll and they will be able to subscribe. If I click on mobile, now I'm not necessarily happy with that because people may have to scroll. So I may decide that, you know what, my social icons, not that important. So this particular column, I'm going to click on advanced Under responsive, I'm going to hide this on phones. So this is no longer going to be visible. People, when they look on the phone, they will see my name, what kind of genre I write in. This will be bumped up. This is kind of semi-transparent here, but imagine everything gets bumped up. You can also decide to change the size of your cover. So if I click here, I can say maximum width can be this, and notice how the cover reduces, brings the text up. I can also click on the text. If I go to style and click on typography, I can adjust the size of that text. Don't make it too small. And I can also adjust the size of the title. And I can also, in here, this entire section, I can give it, if I unlink my values, I can give it a negative margin to really bring things up. You can click to preview your changes, adjust it. And one last step, and the most important of them all, you need to test this form, because the last thing you want is to have a form that's broken. So make sure you test it, subscribe to your own list, and see if it works as planned. So I'm visiting the live page. I'm entering my email information, submitting it. Okay, see, there's a problem. The message is black, so we need to change that so the message is visible. So I'm going to edit with Elementor. Now, I need to edit my form because this is related to the form. And look at the style, because it's the style of that warning message. So the form is here, field button, messages. This is the part that I forgot to change earlier. All of these messages I'm going to put in white. So by having them in white, I should be able to make that work. And I'm going to update. Great, I can go back to the dashboard or I can view page from here. And now let's test this again. Great, it's telling me to check my inbox. I'm going to do that. So I got my double opt-in email. I confirmed, and then when I go into MailerLite, I look at my subscribers, I see the group, and I do see the 2 email addresses I tested with, so all is working as it should. So congrats on building your landing page, but when you visit your site, you're still not seeing that page. So how can we go and do that? That's a super quick thing. So just log into your site, go to the back end, then go to Settings, Reading. And this is where we're going to select a static page to be our home page, and I'm going to select my bonus offer. Click Save Changes. And now when I visit my site, people land on the page where I want them to land. I'll see you in the next video where we deal with the privacy policy.